सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओं. We are in chapter 5, completed 10th sloka. We just do the recap of 10th sloka and then go forward. Brahmanyādāya karmāṇi saṅgaṁ tyaktvā karoti yaha lipyate na sapāpena padmapatramivāmbhasa. Yaha saṅgaṁ tyaktvā karmāṇi brahmani ādāya karoti saha padmapatram ambasa iva papena na lipyate. So we have seen this sloka in the previous class. We'll just do the recap. There are two levels of I for anyone. One is the real I, the other one is the lower I, which is the transactional I, which is the chidabhasa plus the body mind sense complex. So this lower I will have all kinds of troubles and tribulations, all pains and pleasures. This is very much there for the lower I. But for the higher I, which is Atma, there is no pain, there is no pleasure at all. Like you see the freedom fighters, they were put to a lot of physical pain. The Britishers applied third degree method to dissuade them from the freedom fight. These freedom fighters, they had lot of blows, lathi charges were there on them. So lot of physical pain they underwent. But every time they were given this blow by the lathi, they were uttering Vande Mataram like this. Does it mean that these freedom fighters are free from physical pain? No. They had physical pain like any other human being. But only their sankalpa, their desire to get freedom to the country is superior to their physical pain. So they could overcome the physical pain when compared to the supreme objective of getting freedom to the entire country. In the same way, a jnani will also get physical pain. He is not free from physical pain, but he will be free from the mental pain. That's why me, I am so much, I do lot of prayers and, I do lot of, dhanams and all that. Why me? Like this, the people think that they are not given their share of pleasure by the God. So, this kind of thinking will go away. By karma yoga, you depend on God rather than the world. By jnana yoga, you depend on yourself rather than the God. Yourself means not the body, mind, sense complex, your supreme identity, your supreme self, the paramarthika level of your own swarupam. Karmani ādāya. Karmani ādāya means by dedicating these karmas unto God, by giving all these karmas unto God, you have to do the the karmas. So, this is what in Sivamanasa Puja, Shankara Bhagavatpada says, Yadyat karma karomi tattadakilam shambhotavāradanam. So, whatever he does, when he dedicates that work unto God, the routine work becomes puja. So, there are two advantages in this. One is doing the work with shraddha because you are dedicating it to God. The second advantage is because you are dedicating it to God, that becomes puja. So, all your work transforms into puja. So, in the previous classes, we discussed about the ashramas, gruhasthashrama and saṅnyasyāstē, the advantages and disadvantages. And Paramatma voted for gruhasthashrama for majority of the people. The first reason is that it is less risky. The second reason is, after entering gruhasthashrama, a person can still go to sannyasashrama. But after entering sannyasashrama, one cannot come back to gruhasthashrama, because sannyasashrama is a one-way traffic. So, Paramatma advised gruhasthashrama for majority of the people. While doing, that means the ashramas are optional. Gruhasthashrama or sannyasashrama, there is a choice. So, either gruhasthashrami or sannyasashrami, they have to do the karma. None of them are, free from karma. So, karmas are three types. Kāyikam karma, which is physical. Vāchikam karma, which is verbal. Manasam karma, which is mental. Even doing manasa puja is a karma. Even doing a manasa puja is a karma. If a person cannot do physical puja for various reasons, then the same puja can be replaced by manasa puja. Ratnai kalpitamasanam himajalai snanam cha divyambaram. That is what Shankara Bhagavatpada says in his Shiva Manasa Puja. There are many Manasa Pujas prescribed in the scriptures. So you can choose any of these Manasa Pujas and then perform. If your body cannot permit you to do Kāyika Puja. So, the karma, whether it is kāyikam, vāchikam or manasikam, is only for chitta suddhi. Shankaracharya says in Viveka Chudamani, chittasya suddhayē karma, natu vastupalabdhayē. Only for chitta suddhi the karma is prescribed, not for atmajnanam. And having practiced karma for chitta suddhi, one will get jnana yogyata or purity. Thereafter, one has to come to Vedanta Vichara. And Vedanta Vichara alone can give you jnana. What karma gives, the other one cannot give. What jnanam gives, karma cannot give. Like different nutrients from different types of food. Krishna Paramatma says, follow karma, purify yourself, study scriptures under able and competent acharya, know yourself and be free. This is the Vaidika Marga, and this is the only Marga. So not only karma is important, the method of doing karma The attitude with which we do karma, the attitude with which we look upon the result of the karma, they are also very important. Mere karma does not guarantee purification. Therefore, we add karma yoga. Just kevala karma will not give you purification. So, by adding this yogam, what we are doing is, first we have to dedicate karmani adaya brahmani. You have to dedicate the karmas unto God. The second advantage, this is by doing this, you have utmost reverence for the work. That too, the day-to-day work. You don't take it casually because you are going to offer it to God. With Shraddha and Bhakti, you do everything in your day-to-day affairs. And the second advantage is when there is a remembrance of the Lord, the dedication to the Lord, that karma becomes puja. Puja will purify the mind. Therefore, sarvāni karmāṇi brahmani ādāya. This is the meaning of the 10th sloka. We will proceed to the 11th sloka. kāyēna manasā buddhyā kēvalairindriyairapi yōginaḥ karma kurvanti saṅgaṁ tyaktvātmaśuddhayē. Yōginaḥ ātmashuddhayē kāyēna manasā buddhyā kevalaihi indriyaihi api saṅgaṁ tyaktvā karma kurvanti. Tyaktvā saṅgaṁ means without any attachment. Yōginaḥ, yōginaḥ means karma yōginaḥ, karma yogis. Kurvanti, kurvanti karma, they are doing actions. For what? Atmasuddhayē, for the sake of mental purity. Here this Atma is not Sachidananda Paramatma. Because Sachidananda Paramatma is always pure. Atma is Nityam, Suddham, Buddham, Muktam. So there is no need for us to purify the Atma. So Atma here is mind. For the sake of mental purity. Kāyēna means with the body, manasā with the mind, buddhyā with the intellect, indriyaihi with the sense organs, kevalaihi, kevalaihi means without identifying oneself with the body, mind, sense complex. So without attachment, karma yogi performs action for the sake of purity with the body, mind, intellect and sense organs without identification. Without identification means without identifying the body, mind, sense complex as himself. This karma yoga, you can do it at any level. Kāyikam you can do it, vāchikam or mānasikam. Any way you can do it. Whatever is possible, you can do it. Not only that, you can offer patram pushpam phalam toyam. You can offer to God karmani adaya. He said you offer karmas to God. Like that, whatever you are offering, that offerings also can be patram, pushpam, phalam toyam. Out of the four, any one you can give. But the condition is you must do it with bhakti and shraddha in a karma yoga style. People now cannot say, I am very busy. I cannot do this karma yoga. I cannot take up karma yoga. They cannot say. Because Paramatma defined karma yoga is your routine. You need not take special time for karma yoga. Whatever you are doing, whatever means whatever you are doing in the day, the entire work can be converted into puja. So, that may be kāyakam, that may be manasikam, that may be vāchikam. The greatest weakness people do have is laziness. So, they want to postpone the puja, go to a temple, go to some place and perform a puja for about 10 minutes and get away from that. But what Vedanta says, Ishvara is everywhere. So, you can do puja sitting in your drawing room. That too with patram, phalam, pushpam, toyam. That is enough. That's what Paramatma is saying. Kāyēna manasā buddhyā indriyairapi. So through indriyas, through body, through verbal actions, through mental actions, you can do this karma. Buddhyā means by Vedanta vichara. Yōginaḥ karma kurvanti. These karma yogis do karma. Kēvalaihi. Kēvalaihi means this padam, the kevala is very important word in this sloka. Kēvalaihi means abhimana varjitaihi. By leaving abhimanam. What is that leaving abhimanam? Dēhī abhimana varjitai. That means without identification. Without identification means earlier we identify ourselves with the body, mind, sense complex. Now you should not identify that you are the body, mind, sense complex. This is what the meaning of kēvalaihi. Without identification. Or you can say dēhī abhimana varjitaihi. Without dēhī abhimanam. If you get a success, you are a successful person. That success is because of God. Because these indriyas, this mind, the intellect is the gift of Bhagavan. So whatever is happening here is because of God. Nirasi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. So a karma yogi lives in this world without any tension, without any anxiety. Whereas an ajnani, a person who does karma without, karma yoga style, kevala karma, he is having lot of tension. So to release his tension, he goes to a place and spends some $500 and, goes to a yoga center, goes to a psychiatrist. Like that, he spends money. But our scriptures tell you how you can be free from tension, how you can be free from any mental worry. Ātma-suddhayē, all these karmas is doing for the purification. So, the Atma-suddhi means chitta-suddhi or manas-suddhi, not the Sachidananda Paramatma. Atma is not the Sachidananda Paramatma here. How you know Atma is not the Sachidananda Paramatma, you may question. There is a shastram called Mīmāmsa Shastram. So in that shastram, there are certain rules which will tell you how to use and what, how to derive the meaning of a word. In the same way, yōginaḥ here in this sloka is karma yōginaḥ. In the 6th chapter, the same yogi becomes dhyana yogi. So here the Atma Suddhi must be taken as Chitta Suddhi. Chittasya suddhayē karma natu vastu upalabdhayē. That is what I told you. The karma is only for purification of the mind, not to get Atma Jnanam. So we will proceed now to sloka number 12. yuktaḥ karmaphalaṁ tyaktvā śāntimāpnōti naiṣṭhikīm ayuktaḥ kāmakārēṇa phalē saktō nibadhyatē. Tyaktvātmaśuddhayē, renouncing the result of action. Yuktaḥ, the disciplined person. Apnoti śāntim, attains peace. Naiṣṭhikīm, naiṣṭhikīm means born out of the discipline of karma yoga. Saktō phalē, attached to the result. Kāmakārēṇa, due to impulse of desire. Ayuktaḥ, the undisciplined sadhaka. Nibadhyatē, is totally bound. Renouncing the result of action, the disciplined attains peace. Born out of renouncing the result of action, the disciplined person attains peace. Born of discipline of karma yoga, this is possible. On the contrary, attached to the result, due to impulse of the desire, the undisciplined person is totally bound. So this is another verse which is a very important verse. Paramatma says, Karma Yogi will get peace of mind. Now we say that Jnana Yogi will get peace of mind, Karma Yogi will get peace of mind. But there is a subtle difference. Karma Yoga will give a relative peace. Karma Yoga will give you a relative peace of mind, which is required for coming to Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga will give you absolute peace of mind. So, Karma Yoga is like a first aid, and Jnana Yoga is like a main treatment. So, in order to understand Jnana Yoga, one must take up Karma Yoga. Naiṣṭhikīm, naiṣṭhikīm means by the Karma Yoga nishta, you derive Shanti. Karma Yoga nishta means by dedicating the karmas unto God, and karmaphalaṁ tyaktvā, that is what yuktaḥ karmaphalaṁ tyaktvā. Karmaphalaṁ tyaktvā means by renouncing the results of the action. By renouncing the result of the action means not giving up the result. By acquiring the ability to accept any result. You should have the ability to accept any kind of result. After performing the karma, you are bound to get karmaphala. The karmaphala may be in your favor, the karmaphala may not be in your favor. The karmaphala data is Ishvara, there is no doubt in it. Then we may question that is Ishvara a biased one? Is he biased towards somebody and he is not showing any interest on me? That kind of thinking will be there. The people who have bhakti in their fervor, if they do not get the desired result, they do blame the God. Sometimes they say there is no God at all. God is all bogus. So like that, they go to the other extremes. There are certain, tantric practices. They even, lock the God, the idol of the God, in a bottle and say, if you don't fulfill my wish, I will not set you free. So this kind of thinking is very inferior. Because Ishvara is also helpless. Ishvara is giving the karmaphala based on your past karmas. So he is also helpless. He is only giving the karmaphala basing on your past karmas. So you cannot blame God, or you cannot blackmail God, nor you cannot say that God is not there. You have to seek the grace of God. Only to that extent you can seek His blessings. You cannot dictate the karmaphala. This is what the meaning yuktaḥ karmaphalaṁ tyaktvā. So a karma yogi is not obsessed with the karmaphala. This is very important. So we can say ananyās chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktānam yogakshémam aham vahami. So the real security is God. You have to depend on Him. And if you appeal to Him, if your karma is ripen enough, you will definitely get the result in your favor. On the contrary, kāmakārēṇa, instead of the karma yoga style, this a person kāmakārēṇa, because of the force of the desires, because of the attachment towards the karmaphala, is so much obsessed towards the karmaphala. So ayuktaḥ means one who is not in the karma yoga. kāmakārēṇa phalē saktō. Phalē saktō means he woos. He is obsessed with the karmaphala. Nibadhyatē means he is accruing papam and punyam. He is bound. He is not free from papam and punyam. So this is the important sloka, sloka number 12. Then we'll proceed to sloka number 13. sarvakarmāṇi manasā saṅnyasyāstē sukhaṁ vaśī navadvārē purē dēhī naiva kurvanna kārayēna. vaśī dēhī sarvakarmāṇi manasā saṅnyasya navadvārē purē na eva kurvan na kārayēna sukhaṁ āste. Saṅnyasya means renouncing. Sarvakarmāṇi, all karmas. Manasā, through the knowledge. Vaśī dēhī, the self-controlled person. Vaśī dēhī, the self-controlled person. Sukhaṁ āste, comfortably he lives. Purē navadvārē, the city of 9 gates. Naiva kurvan, without doing any action. Na kārayēna, without instigating any action. So the meaning of this sloka is renouncing all actions through knowledge. Renouncing all actions through knowledge. The self-controlled, the self-contained person. The self-contained person comfortably remains in the city of 9 gates without doing any action and without instigating anyone into action. This is the meaning. So, from sloka number 7 up to 12, various stages of sadhanas were discussed by Paramatma. one should go through, emphasizing the importance of the Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is a must. As I told you, there is no option for Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. One must perform Karma Yoga. Now, from 13th verse up to 21st verse, Krishna Paramatma is going to talk about Jnana Yoga, which is the next stage after Karma Yoga, whose importance many people do not know. And many people think that Jnana Yoga is optional, which is not true. You have to take up Jnana Yoga. You cannot postpone it. You cannot avoid it. People say, I will take it up after retirement. Who knows whether one can survive up to retirement? We do hear that, people die at a young age. So, never postpone Jnana Yoga. So, 13 to 21 is Jnana Yoga, the self-knowledge, which is the central theme of 5th chapter. Karma Yoga is only incidental topic, agantukam. Now, what is this Jnana Yoga? Jnana Yoga tells you who I am in the real sense. What is my Swarupa? The Swarupa Jnanam. Then what is this world? Who is God? Then what is the relationship between me and the world? What is the relationship between me and God? What is the relationship between God and the world? Why are we created? What is our goal? These are all the various questions which linger in sadhaka's mind. These basic questions we call in Vedantic scriptures as Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandha, Mukti. 5 topics, 5 fundamental topics. The topics are called tenets of Vedanta. 5 topics are there, which are the ingredients of Vedanta. Vedanta talks about Jiva, the real Swarupa of Jiva. Then Jagat, what is this Jagat? Then Ishvara, what about Ishvara? Triputi, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. These 3 things Vedanta talks. And then Bandha. Bandha means whether Jiva is a Baddha or a Mukta Purusha. Jiva is ever liberated person or he is a bonded person. It talks about Bandha, the Bandham, Samsaram. And finally, it talks about Mukti. If you are in Bandham, how to get out of that shackles, how to get away from the shackles and free yourself. That is called Mukti. So these are the 5 topics which are discussed in Jnana Yoga. So it says that I am not the body, I am not the mind, but I am the consciousness who is functioning through the body. I am transacting through body, mind, sense complex, but I am not the body, mind, sense complex. When the body, mind, sense complex dies or dissolves, I do not die. My transactions only stop. Only my transactions stop, which I experience regularly during deep sleep. Sarvakarmāṇi manasā saṅnyasyā. He discovers the fact that I am the actionless Atma. Therefore, all actions are transferred to body, mind, sense complex. The actions belong to BMS, not to me. It is a shift in the identification. Earlier, I identified myself with BMS. Now, I identify myself with Atma. And therefore, instead of claiming the actions as mine, I hand over the actions to the body, mind, sense complex. The body, mind, sense complex will have to act in the world, and it will have to reap the result also. How does he renounce the action? He does not physically renounce the actions. Actions will continue at the body level and mental level also. But he does not claim the actions as his actions, because he is detached from the body, mind, sense complex. Therefore, he says, I do not act. In my presence, the body, mind, sense complex acts. Urvarukamiva bandhanāt mrityor mukshiyamamrutat. Like urvarukam, like this cucumber, a matured cucumber, it gets separated from its the creeper. It gets separated from the creeper without any effort. Sukhaṁ, there is a relief, there is a lightness, and this lightness is enlightenment. I make myself light. Therefore, naiva kurvanna kāyēna. I do not do any action, nor I make anybody take up the action. Atma is neither doer nor it is an agent of doing. Atma is neither karta nor karayita. Like, the murders, the actual person is not involved in the murder. He hires somebody and takes up this action. He pays some money to gundas and see that a person is killed. So this is called agent of action. He is the real culprit. He is punished more than the murderer. So here it is like this. See, the light is falling on my body. On my shirt it is white in color. In other places it is different in color. Is it due to the light? Is the light responsible for these colors? No. Light is not responsible for these colors. Light doesn't know whether the shirt is white or this particular thing is in a different color. So light do not know anything. It is because of the articles, the quality of the articles, the nature of the articles, these colors are appearing. So in the same way, now we get different results because of our vasanas, because of our past karma. To understand this better, you take the electricity. Electricity, when it is flowing through various gadgets, it performs various action. Like in fan, it rotates the fan. In bulb, it shines. In a refrigerator, it gives a cooling effect. So this way, it does various things. But in the real sense, electricity is not doing anything. Electricity is neither a rotator, nor a cooler, nor a shining agent. So, in the presence of electricity, all these things are happening because of the swabhava, because of the nature of these particular things. We will understand this better in the next sloka. Yaha karta bhavati saha bhokta bhavati. Yaha karmanam karta bhavati saha karmaphalanam bhokta bhavati. So, in this nine-gated body, navadvārē purē dēhī naiva kurvanna kāyēna. The body is described as a nine-gated gated community, very much protected, with 9 gates. What are the 9 gates? In the face there are 7 entries. Eyes there are 2 apertures where you shed tears, where from you shed tears. And ears, 2 holes are there, 2 nostrils and 1 mouth. 7 entries are there in the mouth. And in the bottom of the body, there are 2 organs, upastu and payu. One is jananendriyam and another is the visarjanendriyam. So this way, there are 9 gates in this body. So this Atma is the indweller, the Puraswami. He is in this Puram with 9 gates. So in this Puraswami is there, but he is not doing anything. In his presence, these Indriyas are doing action, the mind is doing action, the body is doing action. Whereas this Puraswami is just a witnessing principle. So, this is, he is not doing any action, or he is, acting as an agent of action. Naiva kurvanna kāyēna. So, he is not doing, nor he is making others to do the action. So, this is my real self. That means, as my real self, I am not doing any action. Only the body does action. The Indriyas are doing action, because that is their nature. So we get more about this in the next sloka. Na kartrutvam na karmāṇi lokasya srujati prabhuhu. Na kartrutvam na karmāṇi lokasya srujati prabhuhu. Na karmaphalaṁ yogam svabhavastu pravartate. Prabhuhu means the Lord, srujati. For the world, neither kartrutvam, agency, na karmāṇi, actions, na karmaphala samyogam, union with the fruits of the action. Lokasya creates swabhavaha, nature, universal Maya leads to the action. So the meaning of this is, Atma creates neither doership nor the enjoyership. Atma is not a doer nor the enjoyer. That is the meaning. Nor it is in contact with the result of the action. It is not responsible for the result of the action. Then who is responsible for the result of the action? But Maya operates. It is due to Maya all these things are happening. That is svabhavastu. If Atma does not do anything, how come all these actions are happening? Who is responsible for all these actions? Paramatma says, svabhavastu pravartate. It is the innate nature of the body to be active. It is the innate nature of the mind to be active. Atma does not do any action. Exactly like, electricity, just now I told, exactly like electricity blesses all the gadgets. Electricity does not ask the radio to produce sound. Electricity does not ask the fan to rotate. Electricity blesses all of them. If fan rotates, it is the inbuilt nature of the fan. If radio gives the sound, it is the innate nature of the radio. So, inbuilt nature of that gadget. So, in the presence of electricity, all these things are happening. So, here the Atma is important. You cannot say that Atma is not necessary. Only in the presence of Atma, the entire world exists and performs its duties. The presence of Atma is important. As I have shown you, the light is showing all the objects. But light is not responsible for the shapes and colors of these objects. It is the innate nature of these objects. That doesn't mean you should not have light. If light is not there, you cannot see the object. Light is very much required. In the presence of light only, you can see and feel all these objects. Svabhavastu pravartate. It is the innate nature of all these objects, the body, mind, sense complex, do act in this world and also reap the result of the actions. So, if the result comes, it is for the body, mind, sense complex, not for me. You should not blame God. You should not threaten God. You have to have that reverence to God. That obsession for the karmaphala is not good. That is the essence of this lesson. You can have n number of actions, you can do any number of actions, perform actions and dedicate it to God, and the karmaphala, when you are getting, don't have any obsession for the karmaphala. Karmaphala is Ishvara prasadam. So, develop the ability to accept the karmaphala as Ishvara prasadam. So, this is the lesson. We'll continue in the next class. Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnascha Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.